Hi. Today we are out in Long Street. The good news is my phone hasn't been stolen. The bad news, no good-looking, tall, friendly Nigerian has told me how cool my shoes are yet. Alas, woe is me. The even better news is that today we are joined by Sushi royalty. A man that puts Asian in Caucasian. Wrap your head around that. Just pipe down over there. Your intro is nearly finished. But of course, today we've got my friend and yours, Ben Bettendorf. Welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you.
Ben, how are you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. And you?
You doing good? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here on my day off in my uniform.
We've made Ben come in on a Sunday, but thank you for being here.
Pleasure. No, I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much for inviting me. I'm not quite sure why, but you've had some pretty big names here.
Yep. Nina Holmes, my mom, big hitter.
Yeah. We know each other.
Oh, okay, but a bit early for mom jokes. I've left your mom alone. Please leave mine alone. But let's set the table, shall we?
Sure.
If you're at home, the restaurant puns, they are coming.
Yeah, we're actually filming in Ben's Sushi Restaurant, which is Obi. Maybe we should contextualize that.
I'll tell you what Obi's about, Chloe.
Okay.
And I'll speak for Ben as I usually speak for you. I've been called a misogynist. I've been called a lot of things on TikTok. But we'll start straight with it. Your restaurant is one of the only sushi restaurants that I've seen other Asian people eat at. That's when you know it's legit.
I think you're right about that, actually. It's like we do a lot of Asian people come here, and all different like origins of Asian people. So like plenty Japanese people come here. Some of the people from the consulate come here, which is just around the corner.
Jeez.
So we must be doing something right. But I just want to correct you on something. It's not just my restaurant. It's my partner and I's restaurant, Papa-san. He is Japanese. His full name is Hatsushiro. Probably the only person I know who's got the name sushi in their name.
Delectable.
Yeah, so we're a team.
You're a team. Okay, that's great to know. And about Papa-san, we're going to get into some Japanese words. I know a hat which Ben is wearing is a hato. My vocabulary is growing every day, as is the KETS following. So if you're watching, listening, know that we are thankful. Let us know if you like this switch up in sort of scenery. Let us know if you like Ben. We'll put his Tinder profile, link in bio, all that sort of stuff.
I will need Tinder after this.
Anyway, so Obi, what does that mean? Is it just a Star Wars reference?
It is, contrary to popular belief, not a Star Wars reference. We get that all the time, thanks.
Not original.
An Obi is the traditional sash, which is a fancy word for a belt that goes around a kimono. So
a dragon.
No, that's komodo.
Close enough.
Komodo dragon.
Continue on, sorry.
So yeah, it's that like long, thick, careful belt effectively that you see tied around a kimono with like that intricate bow in the middle in the front.
Very nice, very cool. So it's not Star Warsy. Chloe, are you disappointed with that answer?
Because I'm a big fan of Star Wars.
So am I.
Are you? Yeah. I think,
the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. Let's skip the sequel trilogy.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I was obsessed with it when I was 13 to be quirky. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
I was like, I love Chewbacca, haha. But I really enjoy Star Wars.
So you like Chewbacca? Is that how you ended up with Sam?
Jeez.
Maybe.
Swinging from the kimono.
Maybe.
Or the Obi. That's right, we're building culturally here. I'll just say it. Star Wars sucks. And I know people have been killed for saying less controversial things. I just never got it.
Are you more of a Trekkie?
No, but look at that. Not everyone can do that. And for those of you listening, I did that weird alien sign that Captain Kirk or Bob.
I don't know.
Something irrelevant. But it leads me to my next question, an important question, one the viewers have been just chomping at the bit to know. Why is the higher ground so important in life?
The higher ground. Oh, is that a Star Wars reference?
Maybe. Yeah, no, yes, it is.
I think you've got a better view from up there, don't you?
That's a fair statement. Chloe, the higher ground, maybe it's a slight question about morality, morals, Barack Obama when they go low, we go high. Some would call that a high tackle, Michelle Obama.
Is the grass green on the other side? Sometimes yes, sometimes not.
Wow.
But anyways,
is that Confucius?
I think we're getting a bit philosophical.
That's true.
Let's move on to one of our favorite segments, which is show and tell, which Sam actually forgot to tell Ben about, but he comes prepared.
I've actually watched this. So this is the first podcast I've ever listened to or watched to. So
Really?
you guys should feel
Oh, we're
proud.
honored.
Wonderful. So what is your show and tell, Ben?
So I have two. I have gifts for you, and then I have something that's more personal to me.
No, this is so sweet.
So,
okay, take it away.
Okay. Let's do you first, Chloe Dart. So these are some earrings, sushi earrings. They're not quite.
Oh my!
Those
These
are
are
awesome.
brilliant.
They are not quite peanut jewels, but
These are perfect.
What's that? Bit
Oh
of
my God.
sashimi, or what is it?
it's a tuna nigiri.
This
Ben,
is
please
so
don't cuss on the
cute.
show.
You don't have to wear them. I promise.
I will wear these. I will 100% wear these. Amazing. Thank you.
And then it's a lot less cool, but maybe slightly more useful. Sam, that's for you. It's a key ring. You strike me as somebody who needs one.
Wonderful.
I love that.
That's very kind of you.
That is so kind.
Thank you, Ben.
Pleasure.
And then what is your more serious show and tell?
So very serious. These are my old glasses. I used to wear super thick glasses.
Wow.
Maybe hold them
Those
up.
are very, very thick.
You guys have to try them on. I had eye surgery last year, and I'll tell you about that if you want.
I mean, this is not America's Got Talent. We don't need your sob story, but continue.
fine. That's fine. I won't tell you that.
I'm only teasing.
But
Yeah.
try these on. These are powerful.
So you had eye surgery, and now you know contact lens is nothing.
No, nothing here.
Oh, no, Ben, your eyes.
Chloe, you look like Zoe Deschanel there. I could be getting slightly aroused over here.
Sis, man. Tell
Yeah,
me you must
I
try these
mean-
on.
Maybe I arouse myself. Let's have a look. Oh, Jesus, Ben. I feel nauseous afterwards. He was
So-
preparing people's food with this level of eye quality.
The food has improved since the eye surgery.
The food has improved, that's for sure. Wow.
Wow,
That-
I have never ever looked through glasses that are that thick.
Yeah, they are bad. So the prescription for everyone who's wondering was -11, I think, which is as kind of as bad as it gets. I could not get out of bed without having to put my glasses on, to walk to the bathroom, to put contact lenses on, because working in the kitchen with glasses sucks.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. I think Chloe tends to ask some of the more serious questions. It's important to get down and dirty with who you are as a person.
Yeah.
So, Chloe, do you have anything like that's really inspired you to
Yeah.
question Ben on us?
Well, Ben is a chef. We've touched on it a bit that we're in his restaurant. So I wanted to ask you, how did you get started as a chef? Because that is quite a brave career choice.
Yeah, just my advice is don't do it.
Inspirational.
It's kind of it runs in the family a bit. My dad used to own quite a popular restaurant, and I started kind of working for him straight after school. Not as a cook though. I hate the term chef. I prefer the word cook. I think people overuse it. The word chef, excuse me. So yeah, I used to work for him. Started out as a waiter, runner type thing, and then became a manager. Kind of realized I really like working in restaurants. It's a lot of fun. How can I take this further and keep doing it where there's not so much of a ceiling? Went to chef school, worked at a couple of restaurants, and somehow ended up here with my own business. So that's kind of my story.
Unbelievable.
That's really humble.
That is
kind
very-
of ended up here with my own business. It's like, whatever.
This is one of the things I hate the most about Ben, is that he's built this wonderful thing with Papa San and their hatos. Wow. Maybe that's the new term for Obi fans, hatos. I don't know.
I like that.
It sounds violent. And we do apologize if you hear some whirring of motorbikes, loud fridges keeping your tuna, that sashimi nice and fresh. Work with us.
It's
okay?
Long Street.
Yeah, work with us, people. Work with us. What about a chef de party? Because that sounds fun.
It's not what it sounds like, and there is definitely partying involved, but that's more after hours. A chef de party means the chef of a section. So you're sort of a middle of the road chef in a restaurant kitchen. Not in terms of skill, just in terms of work experience. So you'd start off as like a student or a commis chef, and then you become a chef de partie, which means you run the section. So you'll run let's say the grill section or the starter section or whatever it is. And then from there you might become like a senior CDP is the acronym we use. And then from there you'd become a sous chef, which is like the second in charge type person, and then the head chef. But there's a lot of sort of words that people use that it kind of ends up meaning the same thing. I'm sure you listeners or viewers will have heard of executive chef and things like that. That's sort of just kind of superfluous in my opinion.
When we've actually chatted to you before, you were saying that after you'd gone to culinary school, you found it maybe not pretentious. I don't want to put your words in your mouth, but like you were saying foam and all that sort of stuff. You just weren't interested in.
Fine dining experience, but fake.
So I worked at fine dining restaurants before, and it's not really what I want to be doing. There's a time and a place for it. It's a nice thing to go to sometimes. It really depends on what you're looking for, I think. So for me, I never wanted to be a fancy, famous chef person. I wanted to be a restaurateur. That was my goal. So I didn't really need my name in lights on a building or anything like that. But to go back to what you started with, the foam thing. So that's
this is clearly a point of great irritation. The
Coming
foam
back to the
thing.
foam.
That's something a lot of people say. You know, they people that go out to restaurants, they will sometimes ask be recommended a place, and they'll ask, oh, but is it one of those places that do gels and foams? And we are not one of those places.
No, just up and
So
down.
don't come here expecting that.
Yeah, working class sushi at upper class prices. Yeah, I mean, I can do your marketing if you want to. I'm kind of a jack of all
Have
trades.
you been to Willoughby's recently and seen their prices?
No, we said we weren't going to bash any restaurants, Ben, and here you are swinging for the fences with your chopsticks. Willoughby's sucks.
I was talking about prices, not anything else.
No, they suck. Honestly, if you eat there, unsubscribe now.
But also you can sponsor us.
Yeah, actually, no, if you're eating at Willoughby's, just maybe you want to send us some money. A little donation. Chloe will sell bathwater. Chloe, I'd like to just bring that up on the show now.
Oh, okay.
I saw someone, I think it was Bal Delphine or, one of those.
This was like 2 years ago though.
Okay, sorry, I'm irrelevant. I'm trying my best over here. But I think we'll sell, when we get a bit bigger, we'll sell bathwater. Then we'll do couples bathwater, slightly dirtier. And then finally, couple and guest bathwater. So Ben, maybe when we do a second episode, get you in that tub.
That is disgusting.
I'm speechless.
Fair enough. You know who often is speechless as well? Smokers, because of their lungs. Why are so many chefs terrible smokers?
That's a good question. I don't really understand that, because I think it's common knowledge, or at least it should be, that you lose your sense of taste as a smoker, don't you? I've never smoked, pretty much ever. So I'm not a smoker, as I just said. I don't know why chefs. I think it's like a look thing, or maybe it's a stress thing. I couldn't tell you.
I would never do it for stress, because each cigarette I suck down, I would literally be thinking, there's a couple of days of my life. This is not really helping my stress. So if you have any good stress coping mechanisms.
Do cigarettes help with stress? Do they?
No, I don't smoke. No.
Chloe smoked one cigarette in her life, and it's we've chatted about this before, because I forced her to do it, but in a more fun way, like in a consensual force. Yeah.
Come on, don't be a little bitch. Do it.
Jesus, you're talking to me. I was like, Chloe. So, but this leads to my next question. When last did you smack lips with someone who smoked? And why was it one of the most disgusting experiences of your life?
It's been a while since I've smacked lips with anybody. Hashtag COVID.
Okay. Lonely boy. Lonely hours.
It's a tough job. Long hours. It was awful, actually. It was really awful. I feel like when I was, going out a lot more, bars, that type of thing, it didn't used to bother me. But then I guess that's just like you go home and you smell like an ashtray anyway. But like kissing a smoker.
Oh no, it's bad.
Is crap.
It's not good.
It's
Chloe,
really
when
bad.
last did you kiss a smoker?
Years ago.
In another life.
In another
Before
life.
our beautiful journey to matrimony and pure love started. Yeah. I chain smoke. Oh, I used to chain smoke when I went out for parties and that sort of stuff.
So like social smoking.
Social smoking, essentially. And then
Chain smoking.
I was going to make a chain smokers joke, but now I just realized I'm using the wrong terminology. Look like an idiot. And I've looked like an idiot many times before in Long Street, but usually in like Sergeant Pepper's.
Never here.
Never here, no. We're quite well behaved. You guys have a new sort of thing that you're doing on your menu called sucky bombs. What is a sucky bomb? And it's awesome. So take us through it.
So a sake bomb is it's kind of what it sounds like. It's like a Jaeger bomb, but instead of the Red Bull, it's beer, and instead Japanese beer, obviously. And when we don't run out, and then the shot part is just like a little sake. So
so it's nothing like a Jaeger bomb, essentially.
Nothing at all. No.
Well,
you take it the
still
same
the
way.
same, yes, yeah.
So you drop that sake into the beer and you down it.
It is
And
delicious.
it's a bit of a slow burner. It kind of, you don't feel it at first. It's not as knockout punch in your face as a Jaeger bomb. I don't like Jägermeister.
I'd never had a Jaeger bomb before.
You're not missing anything.
So when you brought up the sake bombs, I was like, how do I take this? Everyone was like, okay, 1, 2, 3. And I was like, I don't know what to do.
No, it was so much. It was so
so
much
good.
fun. I've always thought a Jaeger bomb is like cough syrup within like a sort of heart attack afterfeel when that Red Bull starts to hit that.
I get you.
Yeah. But I mean, we strain away. We're not too far away from Chloë Street, where it's not too far away from where we live. We'll meet and greet. The date pending. Chloë Street's got some iconic restaurants, and I think what we wanted to touch on was Arnold's. Isn't that right, Chloë?
Yeah. Well, Ben touched on it a little bit, but that your dad actually owned Arnold's.
Yeah, that is true. So my dad, his name was Arnold. So just to give some context, he passed away a couple of years ago. He started it. Funny story. He asked us our family, what he should name the restaurant. Excuse me, and we all said no. Arnold's is a terrible name. It's like it sucks.
Sorry, Dad, your name sucks.
But somehow it's done really well. I think it used to be a lot more of an institution than it is now. You guys said it was your favorite restaurant or something, if I'm not mistaken.
No, behind
Obi's, of course.
They do it, but
of course.
But no.
Just testing you.
Enough of how big was your dad in your journey into restaurants? Is he the guy?
I would say so. Arnold's is obviously a totally different operation to what we do. It's more breakfast, and then I think at night they might still do the gamey kind of dishes, which is, ostrich steak, warthog ribs, that type of thing. We do sushi, obviously. But in terms of how the business is run, it was like really quite impressive, because they used to, they still open at 6:30 in the morning and all the way through until 10:30 at night, curfew permitting. So, and 7 days a week. So we only open 5 days a week. I can't even imagine how he actually did that. I mean, I always wanted to take it over. That can't happen anymore for long, complicated reasons. But I would say he's the main reason I do what I do.
Okay, that's wonderful.
I love that.
Chloë, your dad, you've spoken about him a tiny, but is he the reason you do what you do, or?
Absolutely not.
Jeez. Okay,
no,
wow.
my dad does something completely different to what I do, is what I'm saying. He's like a very analytical mind. He really wanted me to take economics. He wanted me to do a PPE. And I told him, Dad, I don't have the maths abilities for that. I don't think I have the maths marks to even get in.
And then Chloë met me.
My dad supports me through everything that I do. He's wonderful, but he's not why I do what I do, because I can't do economics.
My dad is a beast. I know no one's going to ask, so I'll just have to put it in here. He's one of the most creative people in South Africa, and he's a big reason for a lot of other creative people in South Africa. And sometimes I do unflattering imitations of him on the show, and I have to cop it on Sunday lunch. So there you are, Dad. A wonderful compliment for a wonderful man.
Well, to contextualize, Sam's dad started after, so he's massive in the film industry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Chloë, we were going for a more humble brag, and then you started name dropping.
Well, I bragged for you.
Okay, fair enough.
I think that's allowed.
So what I really want to ask So this is called a hato.
It is.
As we-
Hato.
And I know a lot of you listening think, hey, that sounds like a racial slur. Maybe you're the racial slur. Get over yourself. Have you watched the film Ratatouille?
No, I have not.
Do you understand it conceptually, though?
I'm familiar with the movie.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of rats in Cape Town. What are the chances if I were to pull this off? There's a rat pulling at your strings, cooking, talking, just being Ben Bettendorf.
Don't move the hat.
No rat. What a big reveal.
No, even in Ratatouille, he hides in the top of the hat.
There we go. We'll rest that back down there. Okay, yeah, sorry. It's a powerful hato. But I said this to you before in our relationship or our friendship capacity. You have got a good pip for a shaved head.
Thanks.
Moving on to the next segment.
Okay.
Guys, please, let's not let Ben be single any longer. Come on. Works absolute.
Drop some comments down below. But Ben, you've also got quite a few tattoos.
I think so.
Yeah. So Sam's also tattooed. He's got one on his arm. It's the little.
I'm super serious about
know?
that. Oh fuck! Sorry about that. That would have been a terrible thing to listen to.
Yeah, I'm contemplating my first tattoo. I haven't got one, but I'm very indecisive. So, what would be your advice?
My
for someone
advice is
going into-
to wait until you find the thing that you know is the thing to get tattooed.
Yes.
Instead of just getting a tattoo for the sake of getting it and struggling to force yourself to find something to get tattooed. Does that make sense?
Yes,
It does.
Yes.
Do you have a particular? Does like one guy do all of your tattoos? Because you're very serious. I mean, throw up them arms. Show some. Whoa, is that your gang sign? Is that the
Yes.
Obi gang sign and then followed by hands up? The police are here. I'm not taking the fall for this. I've got
They're
a successful
outside.
restaurant to run. So you tat it up. You got legs, thighs, calves. I don't have calves nor calf tattoos. Let's maybe have a look at that one on your
So
a
this
spider.
this hand thing is actually quite appropriate for this because it's a tattoo I had done in Japan. No, I don't get tattooed by the same person every time. I do go to one guy quite a lot who I've become friends with. The one in Japan was quite a story to arrange. I had to find the guy. Well, I found the guy on Instagram, which is I think how a lot of tattooers do their portfolio these days. It used to be like books and stuff. Do you know what that is?
A book.
Yeah.
I've actually, jokes aside, I've got an English degree, so it's probably the only thing I'm actually good at.
No, but like a portfolio.
Yes,
of
that's what I
their-
meant.
Yeah.
The word escaped.
This
me.
is what
Excuse
happens
me.
when you half listen to your guests. You go down on tangents.
yeah, I know what a book is.
I was trying to think of my next joke. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Ben. Sorry, Chloe. I'll be better.
Moving along.
Sounds like
but-
I'm apologizing after a racist tweet. I've seen the tweet. I've acknowledged that I've gone wrong. I need to
The
work.
error in my ways.
Yeah, it was actually my dad who not my dad. Remember, we're staying away from those jokes. But yeah, I hate those apologies. Well, I mean, I'm glad they're apologizing, but they're always fake. Sorry, back to your book catalog
Portfolio.
Sorry.
I found the guy on Instagram, messaged him. Then he said, please email the shop. Emailed the shop. This is a really boring story. They made me pay a deposit via PayPal, which I didn't know was still a thing. And I had to show up, and then they were concerned that I wasn't tattooed enough to have a hand tattoo. That's a thing.
I can get that though.
Yeah.
It's quite a big thing to
But
hear.
then when they were obviously relieved or something when I walked in the shop, and the guy did it like a tracing. So he puts like a sticky piece of paper over your hand and traces the outline, and then I came back a week later for my actual appointment date, and I was expecting it to be hell, to be honest, because tattoos aren't fun, and people who tell you that they aren't sore are liars.
Or they're what do you call it when you like kind of hurting yourself? A sadist.
Stupid.
Enough tattoo questions from you, Chloe, you bear skinner.
And it was actually really it was not bad at all. It was quite quick. The dude was quite cool. He Japanese guy in Japan. Surprise there.
Isn't there a big thing in Japan about tattoos and
Yes, there
tattoo
is.
culture? Like you're not allowed to have certain tattoos, or you're supposed.
You aren't meant to have any. It's as far as I understand it, it's considered like a gang, like a yakuza thing. So the yakuza members, or whatever the word is, they have these like full body suits, and there's a word for that called irizume. I think I'm pronouncing it right.
Let's go with it.
It's not as accepted as it is here. I think it's gotten better in recent times, like the last 5 years or so. The first time I went to Japan, I wasn't really allowed to go into certain shops. I was chased out of the public baths, and I think there was a particular hotel that they said, "Oh no, I couldn't go there because of the tattoos."
Wow.
So it is definitely a thing. But then in more recent visits, it was less of a thing. It was more. I also noticed more people that had tattoos. So but it's not like Cape Town where every second person is almost covered.
Okay, that's interesting. I really want to get a tattoo artist, just like a sticker, because we couldn't have a gun on the podcast. You like trying to chat and crack. So like a stick and poke guy come in, get a tattoo, make a podcast, make beautiful art. Would you describe what Chloe and I do as art? Because I get into a lot of fights with people about this.
Definitely.
You get into fights with
what else?
People online. I fight vigorously with people, and I mean just leave us alone. Really, we're just trying to make art on a daily basis.
art for art's sake. Sorry, Ben, we interrupted you. You were complimenting us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, if not art, what else is it?
Thank you. Maybe that'll be my tattoo.
Wow.
Pleasure. You can use that for free.
Well, let's chat a bit about the restaurant. We're in the restaurant. What or who is the most famous person you've ever had in here?
We've had a few. I would say we've had Benny McCarthy. We've had some people from the that Japanese rugby team, the Sunwolves or something.
Yes.
And then the most famous person, at least in my opinion, that I noticed was Edwin van der Sar, the Dutch goalkeeper.
But for Manchester United as well.
Are you a
Chloe?
fan?
I'm a fan of winning and losing competition.
A fair weather fan.
I don't support a football team, if that's what you're asking. But he was very cool, tall, funny Dutchman.
He was great, yeah.
Edwin van der who, Chloe?
I have no idea. Nervous laughter. Talking about sports, though.
But you see my problem on the daily basis. Edwin van der Sar, this is a wonderful thing, a guest. I mean,
Champions League winning footballer.
One of the most famous name we've even discussed on this podcast. And Chloe's
really?
Like, that was fun, but now boring.
Sports completely go over my head. But I was saying that Sam's entered the betting world.
Oh, no.
I made one bet, and I only bet 100 Rand, and I wanted to see what it was like. And I was making silly bets because I don't want to win 10 Rand on something.
What did you bet on?
On UFC. I love watching UFC.
Oh, okay.
But Sam refuses to bet on who will win and who he knows will win. He just wants to bet on the underdog.
Yeah. No, because that's the only way you can make money. So like I have the dumbest picks ever. It's like, okay, in the 5th round, he's going to slip and die from disqualification.
Those obscure bets.
I'm like, those odds are good. 10 Rand. Chance to win, 50,000. So Chloe laughs at me now, but just hang in there, Chloe dog. When we're sitting pretty in Camps Bay.
That sounds nice.
Buckhoven. I'd love to walk out there just naked every day into Buckhoven rocks and just scare people. Yeah. I mean, in a fun scare way.
When
I know
you
it's
get
20,
there, I'll be
21.
your private chef.
Ooh.
Private chef to
lovely.
see some private parts. Where's my wing camera? There it is.
No.
But one thing when we talk about restaurants, Chloe and I, it's something that pisses us off. And it's people who don't tip. Why is it never just the tip?
Because you have to pay for the whole meal. Okay, you can't just tip.
I mean, I suppose that's a pretty handy answer. What is your opinion on tipping?
We've heard it all. Tipping is a place in China, is the old classic one.
Ben's actually 45. He just looks like he's in his late 20s.
We've had it all. And so we have this policy that comes from my business partner, Papa-san. He started it. I'm not the biggest fan of it, to be honest. He insists that we add a 10% service charge to every bill, regardless of the size of the table. Normally, people have it for like tables of 6 or 8 or more. We have it on every table. And customers, for the most part, are happy with it. They seem to be, they like that they don't have to work it out somehow that adding 10% or whatever is difficult for people.
Was that on our bill the last time we came here? Or was it 10% tip already?
More than likely.
Jesus Christ, we're out here tipping 30%. We're good people. Like and subscribe.
You got a couple of freebies, don't you?
No, that's true. Ben, when we come here, he spoils us. I feel like an Arab prince.
Good. That's the intention.
So come be spoiled by Ben, but you won't be spoiled. You'll pay.
No, I think we spoil everybody.
Oh,
we try.
That doesn't make me feel special.
People we know.
Okay, so come and get to know Ben. Chat to him. He's a good egg.
Thanks.
So that's your final take on tipping.
It's
a mixtape.
Tipping is it's a funny thing. It probably shouldn't be the norm. It probably should be that wait staff, servers get paid like a living wage. But for some reason, the system is just that people has developed to this point where it is almost expected. In my opinion, you have to work for it. It's not just something that you get as a guarantee at the end of when these people leave, you get money and that's the end of it. You do have to earn it to a point.
I suppose that it's always going to be that thing that there are also just shit people in the world, and if 100%. You're a shit person sitting at home, grapple with that.
Yeah, I remember when I was a waitress.
Excuse me.
Oh no, sorry, you go first.
No, you've answered my question.
Oh, have either one of us waited before?
Yes.
So I did waitress, and we weren't allowed to say anything if someone didn't tip, obviously. But one day I was in such a bad mood, and I put a lot of energy and effort into my customers.
And just everyday life. Chloe is wonderful.
Thanks. So then they just were not going to tip, and I said, I think you forgot something. And they were
We've all done that.
Yeah, they were like, no, I don't think you have. And I was like, no, I think you forgot the tip. I do think you did that. And they looked at me like I was crazy. And I was like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah.
Not tipping anything. And then they just put a couple coins down there.
That's usually what happens.
Oh, they chuck coins at you. I've only had money chucked at me once before. I mean, and I'm not a waiter. I've never been a waiter. I think I'm just too good looking to partake in that sort of.
What about beefcakes?
Beefcakes? I need to work on my rig. My mom has called me chunky, so I'll do some exercise. I don't know what that was. That just looked like I was constipated.
I do think that being good looking helps you. When I waitress, this isn't to be all showing off, but I would wear a ring on my wedding finger so that I wasn't harassed at work, because people are crazy. Yeah. And I worked at quite a rough-ish restaurant, so people they would drink.
I won't ask.
But I was talking about my money story, Chloe, when I had money thrown at me, and where I went to school, high school, sex boy for life. We would obviously play a lot of. I didn't play rugby. Remember the epileptic enigma? He can't be doing things like that. It's a name I'm trying to get to stick. So far it hasn't, but we'll persevere.
Who calls you that?
Myself. And anyway. So we play in Bishops, and we start singing, and we're just having a good time. It's sax, we're having a good time, but now apparently we start singing a song that belongs to them. Talk about delusional rich people. A song belongs to them. Anyway, you're not a record label. And their response...
Is this one of those like support songs? Like cheering songs?
Cheering songs, there we go. Ben, a man of culture over here. Pineland's High's best squash player.
I never went to Pineland's High, actually. I went to the German school.
Okay, the German school's best ever to do it. But anyway, and then so these Bishops guys, as soon as the song ended, which we were singing, just started throwing money at us as their response, like 5 Rand coins. Like the first one to hit you hurts, but then when you start collecting like 5 or 6, you got 30 Rand. Thanks, Bishops.
Laughing all the way to the bank.
Exactly. A couple of bruised ego. But yeah, we made it there. I don't know why I shared that obscure schoolboy story, but
I like that story.
But there you have it. There you have it. What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you, Benjamin? Do you like the name Benjamin?
It's okay.
Okay. What? Okay. Sorry. Geez.
My mother calls me that.
Sorry, Ben. Sorry. My apologies. So, Benjamin, what's the worst thing that's ever happened to you in your restaurant?
The worst thing that's happened in this restaurant, I left the tap running somehow overnight, and I arrived to work the next morning. I opened the shop, and the place was flooded.
Like how bad flooded? Like up to your knees?
Not quite.
Yeah.
It was ankle depth.
Oh.
So
It's never good to be ankle deep in anything.
That was a story to sort out. Needless to say, we didn't open for lunch that day. We did manage to get open for dinner though, but it was
Wow.
Cheapers.
So you were indirectly responsible for the water crisis experienced by Cape Townians. #Day0. We never saw it.
Correct. That was our fault.
Obi was on the list, top of the list.
That was the funniest thing about the water crisis. Not the fact that maybe the water was running out, but like those name and shame lists that they would release. They'd be like, at 16 Balwada Road.
Watering their garden.
Samuel
midday.
Holmes, he's used 2 gigawatts.
Yeah, well,
That's
you
not how
do
you
like
measure water.
very long showers.
So how many gigawatts of water do you use a shower? Christ. So I think it's time for a game. All right. And we've introduced hot takes. And before we get into the hot take game, we're going to do a bit of foreshadowing, similar to foreplay, but more in literary novels. What is wasabi, Ben?
Wasabi is, let's describe it as a condiment used for sushi dishes. It's actually a relative of horseradish. Normally, it's like a fresh root that it's very, very difficult to grow. It only grows under a full moon in running water in Japan. It's we
Are you
don't.
being serious?
Yes,
It sounds like a werewolf.
maybe the full moon part is
That's true.
as salt and pepper, but.
Giggles ruefully. Why did I come on the show? A lot of guests asked that. But anyway.
We aren't fortunate enough to use fresh wasabi in the restaurant. We use a powdered form. You mix it with water, but it's still quite potent.
But every restaurant you go to
Very
in Cape
hot.
Town will have this variant of wasabi.
I'd say so. Maybe the fancier places, the more expensive places have fresh wasabi.
Okay, well that's interesting. You know, the more you know, the less you know. So lovely little tidbit on wasabi. So the game today is going to be based off our Nando's sponsorship pending hot takes. Chloe, let's hear it. Yeah, hot takes. So hot takes is basically, you exchange hot opinions that you have on certain topics.
Maybe like unpopular opinions or
Yeah.
controversial.
Maybe slightly more controversial. So today, for hot takes, I'm going to go head-to-head against Ben. Chloe's going to be the judge. Chloe's going to be the judge. The person with the hotter take wins, and the person with the colder take has to eat a wasabi ball, as you can see here, and move on. So we've got 3 rounds. Chloe, do you want to tee this up for us nicely?
Okay, so I just want to ask so that I get to set the category as well.
Yes, and you're also going to choose the winner.
Okay, fabulous. I like this game because there's no wasabi eating in my future. Okay, so hot takes with Sam and Ben. Are you guys ready?
I'm ready.
Correct.
Okay, first round is going to be social media. Who wants to take the first?
Do you want to go first, Ben?
No.
I need to think of a hot take quickly. Okay, so the category is
Social media.
social media.
Kind of just think of something that's a bit hot, a bit spicy, maybe ruffle a few feathers.
Okay. Here's my first hot take.
Okay. That wasabi's looking like it
That
has your name
wasabi's
on
looking like it's making its way into my mouth. My hot take is falling apart. Do you always have to provide a hot take? What are the rules? I know I kind of came up with this game.
Yes, you always have to provide a hot take.
The category is a bit of a
I actually have a timer with me. Should we use that?
No, I'm going to come up with a hot take right now. Here we go. Hot take on social media. Conceded. I can't come up with a hot take.
Samuel.
I know. I panicked. I knew I should have written one down. I should have cheated.
Does that mean you eat the wasabi?
Well, you need if your hot take needs to be better than that. So what's your social media hot take?
God. So mine, I've had extra time. Mine on social media is, if you're a chef, you do not need to say that you're a chef. You're not a doctor.
Okay. Chloe, who won?
I'm afraid Ben wins because he did
default.
one.
By default. I think, okay, here we go. So let's have, oh, geez, it's wet. Like all good. So that's a solid chunk of this boy, huh?
I don't know if Samuel's
Good
going
luck.
to be okay. You know when you can feel it in your ears? You can feel something in your ears. It's so hard.
I didn't make one.
Oh my goodness.
Whose idea was this?
Yours.
Man, my next hot take is gonna be fucking fire.
Yo.
That's good wasabi.
Yo.
I mean, if anything else, just come for the wasabi.
Okay.
I wish I was acting. I wish I was that good at acting. That felt like a kick in the dick.
Okay, so now you better come up
Yeah, but
with
I get to
another.
go second this time.
Okay, second category is going to be Cape Town.
Oh, a hot take on Cape Town. So many.
So many. It can be anything. It can be Cape Town nightlife, social life, being outdoors, cyclists. Who knows?
So are we still coming? Sorry, listeners.
Everybody looks forward to Cape Town summers until the wind starts blowing.
I like that.
Okay, that's a hotish take. Here's my hot take. Just because your bum's out in Buckoven doesn't mean you're a model. Who wins that round? Chloe, please, I can't do another.
It's like verging on body shaming.
Not body shaming. I mean, you think you're a model. You're not a model. I mean, you're pretty, but you're not a model. You need to make money from modeling to be a
Okay.
model. Another hot take.
This one's
Sorry,
a hard
I
one. I think that Sam's is probably more controversial, so I'll give it to Sam for
Thank
this
you.
round. So
All right.
So Ben, show the camera your wasabi ball that you're about to attack.
Okay, here we go.
For those of you listening, it is more wasabi than you'd probably eat during a whole meal.
it's like the size of a thumbnail.
Oof, he necked it. He went for a deep throat. I mean, not a deep throat in the sexual sense, but he took it to the back of his throat. He's not even making a face. Jeez, this is a professional.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Wow.
You.
You see, I think you try to be too composed. You just got to
I
fail.
know.
You
You kind of have to just take
It's
it
a
in
trace
your
of
stride.
white
Okay,
men. You
well,
fail up.
well, Ben is digesting that, and I
tearing
feel
up.
sorry for both of your stomach linings.
That's
The-
true. My tummy's
Oh,
sore.
it won't be so
My
yet.
tummy's sore.
That
For
is something
the-
else.
The third and last category is going to be sport.
Ooh, I am a sport native.
Sam, will you go first this time?
A hot take. I don't know, because I've recently been watching that documentary on Hansi Cronje. Do you know who Hansi Cronje is?
I do.
Okay. So I suppose my hot take.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. That's okay. Come on, Ben. Have some class. I know you just downed a thing of wasabi, but bring it back. Anyway, so my hot take would be regarding Hansi Cronje. He just wasn't that good at betting. Maybe Hansi didn't really understand how to bet properly. Good luck, Ben. That might be wasabi number 2 for you. So your sport hot take, Benjamin.
I'll see you on that, and I'll raise you that maybe Herschel Gibbs should have smoked a joint before every match.
Ooh, I like both of these. Herschel
See-
Gibbs is also in the documentary, and he's the first person I've seen like swear without a care on a Netflix
Yeah.
documentary. They're like, "What do you think of Hansi? Guy's a fucking legend."
I can't.
Thanks,
I
Herschel.
don't know if I can pick a winner. Maybe you guys must put that in a half. Share
Okay,
the last thing of wasabi.
Because
Or should I
Chloe
have
was
it?
supposed to be a good judge, and I think those are both good hot takes.
What
Chloe?
about a tiebreaker?
Fair enough.
No, I think I want to see Chloe eat one, but that is a good
Fair
idea.
enough.
Okay.
Yo, Chloe's gonna cry for this one. So there we go. We've just demolished 3. That was the cutest cough I've ever seen in my life.
I really was like even. I'm dying over here. I told you I can feel it in my ears.
Your ears. Okay. But
Yo.
you took that like
I
a
thought you
champ.
said something else.
Yeah. I also heard anus. I feel that in my anus.
You guys, no man.
No.
I
That
feel
was
alive.
that was absolutely
That's
shocking.
the first thing I've eaten today.
If
That
you
was breakfast.
if you're watching, you would have no doubt been entertained by some facial expressions.
I think maybe just the audio would be even funnier. You know, you're trying to guess what's happening.
Yeah, well, we do apologize for all of. So let us know. I think that's quite a fun new segment. We'll have to find a wasabi sponsor, or like I said, Nando's hot takes.
Oh, I can feel it in my diaphragm. Do you have taste buds in your esophagus? Do you think?
I'm still suffering.
Yeah, Mia. Oh,
You see, I know what I'm about. I had the worst reaction, but then it was like a climax, and now I'm sitting
I
pretty.
think I'm gonna die. Okay, let's wrap this
But
up.
before this, do you have another hot take you'd like to get off your chest, just in general? Because you wanted a tie break, which means I think you've got one.
I've got one.
Okay.
Bringing your own chopsticks to a sushi restaurant is a little bit like bringing your own pool. It's the wasabi. Bringing your own pool cue to the shack. You're not impressing anyone.
Okay. Ooh, that's
I
a
quite
sort
like
of
that.
industry burn. I would say if you want to improve that one, maybe it's like bringing your
ask
own child to an adoption agency. Guys, what are we doing here?
Isn't that what one does? Isn't that what they exist
Oh,
for?
jeez.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments. I was about to call them adoptees. You're actually called orphans. A much stronger and
Oh,
hectic
geez.
term. But we've touched a bit on the restaurant industry. We've touched a bit on your personal life, your tattoos. I think it's been really interesting to get a better portrait of who Ben Bettendorf is. So thank you for that. Of course, we're not going to just end it there. I know you guys, you're already shaking like little tuck addicts. What about overrated, underrated? What about overrated? Calm down, okay? We will now be playing, before we do our final sign-off, our thank yous, our goodbyes, overrated, underrated. So since
I'm
Chloe was the
suffering.
judge,
Oh, you're right there.
Yeah.
shame the
But I'm
wasabi's
suffering.
still hitting Chloe dog. So I'll call out the overrated, underrated, and Ben, of course, you're familiar with the concept. We'll chat a bit about these topics. We'll have a bit of wiffle waffle. I do love a juffle. I don't know. I have been called the next Eminem. People have also called me Logic, which is not a compliment. But anyway, overrated, underrated. Ben, are face tattoos overrated or underrated?
Overrated.
Overrated. You're not here for a face tattoo.
No.
Chloe, would you, if I got a face tattoo, would you stay with me?
Yeah, of course. You do what you want. Face
Jeez.
tattoos, like maybe like a fake mole or something. Does that count?
That's a whole different category, isn't it?
As you get eyebrows
Face
tattooed.
like my mom's got face
eyebrows.
tattoos, but there are no eyebrows.
True.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay,
And
moving.
my dad stays with her. So.
Is that like permanent makeup?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very nice.
But anyways.
I've also got permanent eyebrows. They sometimes go for a Frida Kahlo impersonation. A source of bullying, the monobrow. I don't think it's a cool look. There's some players in the NBA. There's one guy, his nickname is the Brow. Anthony Davis. He's got the fattest monobrow I've ever seen. And it's one that I could only aspire to, but will never have the balls to do. All right. Longstreet, overrated or underrated?
Underrated.
Okay, wow.
Because that's where you'll find Obi.
That's true.
It depends on which part.
And I think that's good. I think we need to clarify that this is like old Longstreet.
Yes.
Yeah, so, I mean, there is a homeless person masturbating next to the window here. But no, that is a joke. This is like more the heyday of Longstreet, the Financial Times. So, okay, I like that. Longstreet, underrated. Star Wars, underrated or overrated?
That's a tough one.
Perfectly rated, perhaps?
Perfectly rated.
Wunderbar. You heard it here first.
Sequel trilogy, overrated.
All
I
right.
like that, yeah.
And finally, kissing a smoker, overrated or underrated?
Hard, overrated.
I think I tend to agree.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. I mean, just kissing people in general, I find quite repulsive. That's a joke.
Excuse me.
Ben, you want to have a wowie?
I'm good.
We
Well,
covered a lot of ground. Chloe,
yeah.
are you happy? You've got nothing left to say to Ben? Or?
Nothing left to say, except to say thank you. Thank you very much for...
wholesome.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
That's very sweet. No, it's been amazing having you on the show. I've had lots of fun recording this podcast.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Making Ben blush.
So we will put all of Obi's details where you can come check out the restaurant, and that's great. I severely urge you, come have a meal here. And use the promo code KETS to get nothing off.
Ben was like, we did not cover this.
Sashimi free.
Also,
we'll
go
roll with it.
and follow Ben on Instagram because he's got an Instagram story highlight called Gedanken. Is that how you say it? And
It's German, Gedanken.
I
thoughts.
should have known that. And it's basically hot takes. So he's the king of
Hot takes before hot takes.
Yeah, hot takes before
Exactly.
hot takes were a thing. And also, he has like a running highlight reel of what's going on in the restaurant or interactions he's had with arseholes in the restaurant. So it's great. So Ben, I want to say from the bottom of my cold black heart, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you for actually coming into our lives. It's been such a weird friendship that we've been able to build over the years, and it's wonderful. Thank you for your time. Thanks for being out here. Of course, because we've got I have a funeral on Wednesday. I know, not a fun talking point, comedy podcast. So we've recorded this on Sunday. Just full transparency for you guys as well.
It's
so
just like that one of those things that like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? it's recorded the day before.
Yes, kind of. So this will be
Jeremy Maggs.
exactly. So it'll be out on Thursday, but we appreciate you for coming out on the holy day, the Sabbath,
Thank you.
for shunning God and choosing us. Thank you so much. Do you have anything parting shots you want to get off on this platform?
No?
Okay, no. Finally, I've got my parting shot. This shirt is for to come to Miami, lose your mind, Dale. We're gonna make it, people. Bye. Do your bye.
Bye.
Get that bye out properly.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.